So we're pretty much good to go here at a packed Kingsholm, and the referee is the Irishman, Johnny Lacey, who played Heineken Cup rugby for Munster, and tells me he's the quickest winger they ever had. Well, Exeter, they're the defending Anglo-Welsh champions. The Chiefs planning to bank a trophy for a second successive season. Tonight, Exeter compete in their first ever European semi-final. So the progression for Exeter continues. And here is Henry Slade in his distinctive rhubarb and custard boots, who gets us going. Taken straight away by Charlie Sharples, who could supply the lightning strike from fullback. A couple of lightning forks on the wings as well, and Henry Purdy and Johnny May. Greg Laidlaw, Scotland's captain in the Six Nations, now Billy Meeks. Here is Charlie Sharples. And now Henry Purdy, who's got a lot of gas. Played in a couple of World Junior Championships for England. Greg Laidlaw, James Hook, who set up both of the tries against Connacht in the quarter-final here a couple of weeks ago. Laidlaw trying to snipe around the fringes there. Now it's Nick Wood, a dozen years, a cherry and white Nick Wood, over 260 games for the club. And as we mentioned at the start, his battle with Thomas Francis at scrum time could be very important indeed in terms of the outcome of this game. And here is James Hook to Matt Kovacic, who's already won several Man of the Match awards, 3 in fact in this Challenge Cup so far this season. He's also scored 4 tries, 2 of those coming in one game against Brave. Kovacic really has been influential. Now a 4. Phase number 11. Now Gloucester did a lot of this against Connacht, did a lot of this against Sale in the league a few weeks back, but didn't find much penetration.
It's very interesting as well, because at the moment the Exeter Chiefs are just absorbing this pressure, not putting too many people into the contact, just getting their line up and getting their line speed.
They have been a bit criticised for being a little bit one-paced at times, Gloucester. And here is Gareth Evans, who really can bring pace to your team into the side in the absence of Ben Morgan, recovering from that broken leg. Pleased to report he's now in a moon boot and will hopefully make it for the World Cup.
Well, it's fantastic ball retention from that initial kickoff. They've gone, what, 17, 18, 19 phases, almost 22 to 22.
Greg Laidlaw looks for the options outside, and then trying to get over the ball there, but that was good clear-out work by Gloucester, coming in fiercely. Now Johnny May coming into strange territory for a winger, almost in the middle of that ruck there. And at last, after phase number 24, Gloucester enter the Exeter 22 and then give the ball away, and they can go the length here. Can Exeter? It's Phil Dolman. Dolman for the inside ball to Thomas Waldron. Has he got the pace to make it and outstrip Billy 12 Graves? Thomas the Tank cannot quite get there. But Exeter, they absorbed so much pressure there. And then that amazing bursting break.
Well, the boys in the studio were talking about the atmosphere. We're in for a cracker. What a start. Incredible ball retention from Gloucester. The crowd, the shed are on their feet. All of a sudden, one turnover. And unfortunately, it's Thomas the Tank. He just couldn't, he ran out of steam. He couldn't get there. Use it!
Stay. Apparently his nickname at Exeter is Thomas the Turkey. He looked like Thomas the Roadrunner on that occasion. Although top-end gas wouldn't be as straight.
If it was a Turk, it should have been the 25th of December he'd have got there. This is where the turnover came from, just out the side. Again, just not at home. Straight away it goes to Dolman. You think, right, Dolman's got the pace. He doesn't back himself. He comes back inside, a couple of passes, back out to Thomas Waldron, and he just couldn't quite make it. So many tries this season, not this date. So far, anyway. Great tackle, 12 trees coming across.
Here's Ian Witt. He's the top offloader in the Challenge Cup this season, the Ulsterman. Now it's Exeter's turn to enjoy a little bit of possession, and hopefully from their perspective some ball protection. Dave Ewers, who was man of the match against Northampton Saints last weekend, and that great win down at Sandy Park against the Premiership champions. And again, there's an opportunity for some width here if Waldron has spotted that opportunity and it's the monstrous figure of Mitch Lee. He's already a man of the match in a semi-final this season, and now it's Dean Munn, and he has Whitten on his shoulder. The Exeter captain, can they drive him over the line? Well, he's certainly pulled over, but is he pulled over turtle style on his back? It's an exhausting opening 5 minutes here.
Well, Thomas Waldron is involved in almost everything, but I just believe that first initial charge down the left-hand side.
Time.
Just having a little look what John Lacey wants to talk to about. Number 7 is calling forward. Anyway, sorry, I'll go back to the point I was making. If it had just gone through the hands and just actually tracked back and using his shoulder here. Thomas Waldron now passes the ball now. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 3. I know there's a drift defence coming across, don't get me wrong, but that big pass takes out all the energy, all the space, and then even then Dean Munn scores as he did against Newcastle, and they do well. Well done, Gloucester, keeping him up.
The curse of the miss pass.
Again, it's the first thing you're taught in school. Just hold, as long as you've got people out there, 3 to 2 or 4 to 3, you're always going to score, as long as you can hold that inside man. Anyway, here we go. This is what we've been talking about all week. The first scrum.
Well, Nick Wood up against Thomas Francis. Thomas Francis gave Alex Corbisiero a really hard time, and then Alex Waller, when he came off the bench for Northampton, while the Gloucester scrum, they squeezed 4 penalties in this phase out of Harlequins last week. 10 penalties for Exeter against Northampton at scrum time. Who's going to dominate on this occasion?
This is where the game will be won and lost. We saw last night in Edinburgh, didn't we? It was almost men against boys. Lynn Jones said total annihilation because they couldn't, the line-out disintegrated, and the scrum, they're going back faster than, well, than a fast thing.
A road runner.
Yeah, something like that.
In reverse.
Indeed, concentrate.
Francis and Nick Wood, and it's Nick Wood who gains that initial advantage against the big tight head that Warren Gatlin brought into the Six Nations training squad.
You'd have to say that Wood went in where the Francis was binding over straight away. Dean Munn, obviously the captain of Exeter Chiefs, goes straight over to the referee, John Lacey, as he's allowed to, and John Lacey's batted him away. I don't want to know, he said. Here you go. It's a difficult one because you've got to say Nick Wood goes in first, as done Tom. I'd like to have seen a reset. The referee's got to make a decision. He has.
Just 22 years of age, Thomas Francis struggled a few years ago to make his university side, but then London Scottish picked him up, turned him into a professional rugby player, and he's been honed by Rob Baxter. Here is Ian Whitten. And again, Gloucester coming in powerfully in an attempt to counter-ruck. They've turned the ball over here. So that's the second time they have done that in a bruising fashion. Now John O'Foe, he'll bring a bit of bruising fashion to your drives, the World Cup winning tight head. And there's a hole and a gap, and it's 12 trees now. And here is Billy Meeks, and he sharples on the switch. And it just didn't quite work. It didn't quite stick for Gloucester when the opportunity was there. Well, frustrating that that move eventually fell apart because it was looking so optimistic for the Cherry and Whites.
And again, it's that incredible sort of contentious area, the breakdown. Who's going to power in first? You would think Exeter Chiefs need to put more men in there. Gloucester that time powered through, counter-rucked the ball, and just a little bit of a mix-up. Sharples just staying on his wing, possibly. I know he's playing 15 tonight, just a little bit too long. Should have come in now. He does, the pass isn't there, but you can see the intent from both sides. Turnover ball is king.
Billy Meeks, former Manly Beach lifeguard. There's a great wee coffee shack at the end of Manly Beach that serves wonderful homemade granola.
I thought you were going to say pies, and I'm wondering why I hadn't heard of it.
I've had a couple of
granola, I definitely would have heard of.
I've had a couple of great breakfasts at that little coffee shack. I'm sure Billy Meeks has too.
Here we go, scrum 2. You're talking about Billy Meeks? Right. He'll be out in the backs. It's over to these boys.
Another beasting match between the two humongous sets of front row forwards. Thomas Francis has 22 stones, and that's him slimmed down version. He was in the Championship Dream Team last season in his spell at London Scottish.
Well, Andy Deacon knows a little bit of about scrimmaging. Reckons he's the best in the Premiership. Not on that evidence.
And here goes Gareth Evans, and they've turned the ball over again here by knocking it on in contact. But that scrum from Gloucester took off like it was on sprinters' blocks.
Use it!
So Will Chudley.
Use it!
We need a get out of here clause, and it's the rhubarb and custard boots again of Henry Slade that does clear the danger. James Hook, did he do enough there to keep the ball in play? Well, the flag is up on this near side, and the touchy says that went out.
It was Matt Jess, and we saw a few scrums being disrupted, i.e. Edinburgh disrupting the Dragons last night. John Afoa and his boys in the front row have done a job. You can see the pressure coming on from Wood. He's done him. Thomas Francis having a big rap coming in here after a tremendous performance against Northampton Saints. But you got to back it up. You're only as good as your last game, and the evidence of that second scrum. The old man, well, he's not old, but all the experience of Nick Woods, and it's nice to see Gareth Evans back up.
Well, a man who suffered from injury, Gareth Evans. He was out for 7 months until quite recently. The lad who came through the Gloucester Academy.
He'd go off for his test, I think, Robbo.
Head injury assessment. On comes Ross Moriarty, who picked up a yellow card actually against the Harlequins last week. Gloucester's discipline was poor in that game, 2 yellow cards, and at one point they were down to 13 men. So they can't allow that to happen on this occasion tonight. So it's Will Chudley with the box kick, and it's deep, and it's straight into the grateful arms of Henry Purdy. Connacht committed one of the 7 deadly sins of rugby, and that was to kick the ball directly in the quarter-final to the 2 Gloucester wingers, Charlie Sharples and Johnny May on that occasion. And it's Johnny May in possession here. And he really is looking for work, Johnny May, stepping in off that wing. Matt Kovacic, a man who's added layers to his game. He's a distributor these days, a link man too, not just a jackler. Once more, Gloucester building a few phases here. James Hook to Galazza, and Billy Twelvetrees drills the ball low and into touch.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good decision from Twelvetrees. I didn't think he had his best day in the quarter-final against Connacht. Some of his passing and kicking weren't up to club standard, let alone international standard, but the momentum had gone out to that move. We've got to say, these youngsters, this Purdy takes the ball and decides, right, I'm going to crash it up, but won't give up. Thomas Waldron just flips him over. He just keeps his leg pumping, gets to the floor, and has another go. And that's what you want as a forward, as a scrum half running onto a ball, someone like that doing damage.
Exeter born Jack Yandel to the line out. 4th meeting this season between Gloucester and Exeter. 2 wins to 1 for the Chiefs, but just 5 points separate these two across the 3 matches. And a line out steal by Gloucester goes towards Ross Moriarty, palms the ball on, and here is Billy Meeks. Did well to collect the ball there, and good feet from Meeks, and then the fend and the offload. What a skill set from the Australian. All in one movement there from Meeks. Showed the lot. Callum Afoni, Billy Twelvetrees, chance here. Billy Meeks, did he look outside him? Should he have looked outside him there? But it looked as if, again, there might have been an opportunity in a wide channel, as we saw previously for the Exeter Chiefs.
Well, I know there's no points being scored, but the Chiefs are taking a lot of water at the moment. It's wave after wave of attack from Gloucester, and it's just the speed that they get into these rucks. I know they had a turnover, which nearly the Chiefs went the length of the field early on, but since then they're really powering into these rucks. People carrying the ball from depth. A lot of physical aspect going into those rucks, then people just clearing them out. It's great for the end of the 9, great for the 10, people running onto the ball. You just see the ball, it's breaking down a little bit. Back inside, should have gone. You know, you've got to give your chance to your wingers, not the big looping pass, just the pass to the man.
Well, Sharples and May with a man outside him there. Here is Henry Slade now. It's Jack Noel, 6th consecutive game for Exeter in the 13 shirt. Stuart Lancaster deploys him as a winger. Of course, he's played a lot on the wing for the Exeter Chiefs as well, certainly at the start of the season. Here's Phil Dolman, try score last week against Northampton. Could have had a couple, but fumbled when he picked up for a 70-metre scoot into the line. He was called back. Here's Ian Whitten. Tries to get the offload away, and it was a bit of a forced offload that time from Whitten, and it's been knocked on.
We are going to get mistakes. This game is played at an incredible rate. Offloads are looking at it, and it is just a, well, very exciting first 30 minutes. No score at the moment, but tremendous appetite for movement of the ball, left, right, and centre. And you've got to say, you know, as Davy Humphries looks on, Rob Baxter's not afraid, is he, to make these decisions, to move like Whitten to the wing, to Whitten into the centre, put Noel in the centre from the wing, always thinking.
Laurie Fisher there, known as the high priest of the breakdown. He's worked very hard with Matt Kvesic. He's also worked hard previously with David Pocock, and he said Kvesic is in that that sphere, if you like, as a number 7, but just has to be a little stronger over the ball. That was the quote from Fisher this week.
He should know. We saw the feature at the beginning. Obviously, he's a big lad. It's just knowing when and where to pounce and then to stay there. So, yeah, look.
Closer.
He knows a little bit about it, doesn't he?
His full name should be Laurie Fisher Man with that hat, shouldn't it? Needs a few flies on it.
They've sold
some of those enamel badges.
They sold a few in the shop, I believe.
And there is his apprentice, Matt Kvesic. 28 turnovers in total this season. There you are, Dowie.
There you go.
He's selling them by the bucket load.
Good blindside option here now. If Laidlaw wants to take it, May.
Black.
They just still fancy this scrum.
Off goes Ross Moriarty. Now James Hook for Billy 12 trees. Charlie Sharp is again coming into the line from fullback. Tries to carve his own way through, but he's brought down by Henry Slade. Now James Hook to Callum Afoni. Big ball carrier for Gloucester. Over 260 carries this season by the Tongan. Laidlaw chipping around the edges there. Once again, it's Johnny May, and that's noticeable. That's the 3rd time, I think, that he's taken possession off that right wing. There's Johnny May playing scrum half. In goes Richard Hibbard. Started that decisive 3rd test match for the Lions against Australia a couple of years back, and Mitch Lees tries to do the jackling. And here is Johnny May once more. Now Greg Laidlaw for Billy 12 trees. Can he be the playmaking 12 for Gloucester tonight? That's what the Cherry and Whites need. Big numbers on this big blind side for Gloucester. And it's Johnny May again. Here's Greg Laidlaw. Richard Hibbard is the carrier, tackled by his opposite number, Yendall. Greg Laidlaw. Can Gloucester pull in a few Exeter defenders here and open up some channels elsewhere? Johnny May's now on the left wing.
Sharples is on the right.
That's where they normally play for Gloucester, left and right, 11 and 14. But being shuffled around tonight due to injuries to Steve McCall and Rob Cook. Here is Matt Kvesic. Kvesic drives hard and low and straight. Laidlaw again, and it's Ross Moriarty. Laidlaw for John Afoa. He sizes up what the options are. Dave Ewers comes in with a muscular Zimbabwean tackle. That's his place of birth, but the referee was playing an advantage for offside. And are we going to see some points at last after this frenetic 16 minutes?
Got to get something out of it. Got to take the 3 that's on offer. Tremendous phase of play once again. We've seen 2 massive phases. I think 20 odd, and I think that was up to about 18, 19, wasn't it?
Well, he's on permanently now as Ross Moriarty.
Yeah. Not interfering, kick away.
He looks to me like a man who could chew tobacco and then expectorate into a spittoon. He comes from a very hard Welsh rugby family.
You know his dad and uncle then, do you? Yeah. But this is great play again. It's Sharples. Like he said, he's got 15 on his back, but he pops up on the left, you pop up on the right. And it's about, for me, the speed of contact. The ball coming back, then people can take a line off it, can take the movement off it, and then people can actually hit in straight over top of the the back man, and the ball just comes out superbly. But yeah, they will take 3 here, so it's up to Laidlaw.
No comparison between the two kickers this season across all competitions. 82% for Greg Laidlaw. He's been generally very consistent and very accurate, and we do have our first points of this gripping and extremely tight Challenge Cup semi-final.
It's been tremendous. 17 minutes, 3 points on. If you've only just come in, you think, oh, well, this isn't much good. My word, this has been fantastic stuff. And if
don't slip, don't
go up with your go up with your bucket.
They should be roped.
Someone's told them like that.
Health and safety. Good take by Callum Mahoney. Gareth Evans, as I said, off permanently now, so they may rely even more now on Callum Mahoney to do some of that hefty ball carrying for them. Now Tom Savage. Ross Moriarty. Thomas Waldron's taken up an interesting position. He is standing very, very deep in almost the full-back position, and up goes the full-back, Phil Dolman. Caerphilly boy. Chudley. Jack Yendall, tackled by Galarza. 6 starts for Galarza in the Rugby Championship for Argentina, but this is first start for Gloucester after that long-term shoulder injury. Now it's Dave Ewers. Jack Yendall latches on.
Too slow.
And it's a penalty. Penalty against Gloucester. And into this chilly northeasterly, which is blowing diagonally across the pitch from that corner. Is this on?
Well, as you look for it, we walked the pitch a little bit, didn't we, Robert? It is coming from right to left as you're looking, but this guy's got a heck of a boot on him. Good left, powerful boot. So it was actually not a bad little box kick from Laidlaw, because, as you said, Dolman was back there, Thomas Waldron was back there. But again, everything seems to be going Gloucester's way. That's great catch of the ball from Callum Mahoney. Take it on, and again, they can just start up again. But this time, at least, the Chiefs got hold of the ball, and they've got a chance now to equal the score.
Those are rhubarb and custard, aren't they, Davi? Or tangerine and banana? What do you think?
I'm lost for words.
He's obviously colourblind, but he's a mighty fine kicker. 6 from 6 in the quarterfinals against Newcastle. And this is his first strike at Kingsholm, and it just about floats and drifts over the crossbar. Nobody can quite believe it, and that includes the head coach, Rob Baxter.
I think Rob Baxter may have decided, no, we need to go into the corner. He hasn't got the length. I'm just surmising. That is some good contact. That is some good kick.
Chudley. Sharples, 4 tries in the last 6 games for Charlie Sharples. Scored a hat-trick against Breve in this season's Challenge Cup, and here is Callum Mahoney, and he is doing a little bit more of that heavy-duty stuff. James Hook to Ross Moriarty, fast hands, but he flew the ball, unfortunately, straight to turf. Off goes 12 trees. Big, strong, muscular man is Billy 12 trees. Tom Savage, and the defence had to close quickly there to stop Savage from going through a hole. Here's Hook, it's in behind Meek. It wasn't the most sympathetic of passes from the 77 times cap Welsh international. Is that high on Greg Laidlaw as he flops to the floor, and the referee John Lacey, I don't think thinks that it is. Off goes a 4. Now Galarza, series of little picks and jams, and now Billy Meeks in on the angle.
Off feet now.
Laidlaw again, they're exploring this blind side. It's Ross Moriarty. Aren't too many cherry and white numbers there, so they'll need to generate some quick possession here. Tom Savage, here's 12 trees, and now Hibbard, phase number 12, and they have gone through a lot of stanzas in this game, have Gloucester, but they haven't got much to show for it in terms of what they're putting on the scoreboard.
It's Gloucester's season in a sense, isn't it? Especially the last couple of games. The game against Harlequins, when it's so much possession, a little bit of indiscipline, the game goes away from them. Match stats And that's it, that's about the pace I was talking about. 32 against 10 gain line successes, but unfortunately they've not just been able to turn them into points.
Henry Slade, plenty of hang time on that restart taken by Johnny May, and Ben Mooden came setting in there. Callum Afoni to Billy Twelvetrees again. It's a poor pass, and that's now both centres have been involved in poor passing. One from hook. Meeks wasn't guilty, but Twelvetrees certainly was, my love. Now Kai Horseman. Shudley for Slade. He looked up there to see if there was some space in between James Hook and Johnny May, and there wasn't, so it goes straight to hand, and that's a dangerous thing to do to this Gloucester back three, and including that, James Hook 3+1. And here it is, the attack from deep, and it's Ross Moriarty on the switch with Greg Laidlaw. Where's the support on the shoulder? It really wasn't there quite quickly enough. Johnny May finds James Hook, and it's all a bit chaotic in there now as Jack Noel goes in to try and steal as Henry Slade gathers the ball, and with his 400-metre runner pace, nobody would have got him.
3-3. It should be 30 points to 3. I mean, again, Moriarty's come on. It's his 6th carry already. They just love to get their hands on the ball. This is great from Laidlaw.
Guys, let's go.
Again, he's running against props, front row forwards there, but his experience just holds them. He holds the ball up and just brings forward after forward onto the ball. Unfortunately, it's the last minute. It just breaks down. They're busting the gain line, but not converting that into points. And then Slade nearly goes the length, but...
Well, Ross Moriarty, who started for England in the 2014 World Junior Final against South Africa, but Dad Paul and Uncle Dick had 43 caps between them for Wales. 6 carries already for the explosive Ross Moriarty.
And he's gone seamlessly, isn't he? And this lad played under 20s as well, as we know. When they just make that little step up, you just know that they're going to be a very good player.
No, boys. Come up, come up.
Just watching where Slade takes this from.
Just last forward, that's all.
Oh, an honest young man like that wouldn't cheat, would he, by walking forward 3? No, no.
It's all right, the shed haven't caught on the big screen. They're not looking.
He's got that look of guilt, hasn't he? That's a guilty look.
Good lad. If you're not going to get pulled up, try and nick a yard.
No, he's shifty-eyed, that lad, Slade. Shifty-eyed.
Probably what Rob Baxter was giggling about.
Yeah,
now.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right. Well, it's tight here, 3 points apiece, and just one score between these two in 8 of their last 9 encounters.
And you guys are going down and set. I said it was unacceptable. I'm going penalties now. Stay up.
Gloucester, the #1 seeds, as they were in 2006 when they won the Challenge Cup, but Exeter have won on 3 of their last 4 visits to the dreaded Castle Grim.
I thought that's what you used to call Saracen's old ground, Vicarage Road, but I've never called this place Castle Grim. Too much respect. Beautiful new stand behind. Now, can these forwards sort it out?
The Gloucester Citizen calls it Castle Grim. That'll do for me. Now, it's been a little bit grim for Exeter in recent scrummages, and it's gone down in the front row, but John Lacey says play on the ball. The number 8's feet, absolutely. Here is Twelvetrees. Charlie Sharples might have been offside there. Was he in front of the kicker? It's always hard to tell with Charlie Sharples. He's so quick.
It's one of those you've almost got to go back to the TMO to find out, because he is lightning. Yeah, that's good. Get it out, get it out, get it out. Yeah, I would say he's about a yard in front, but seeing as it's Slade nicked a yard, we'll give Charlie a yard.
Step in, step in.
Well, now, Gloucester scored 2 tries from the driving ball against the Chiefs in the league game here, although they did lose that league game at Kingsholm. But they got to get the ball first off Exeter, and that's a good, crisp and solid line out by the Chiefs.
It's a good line as well, a 5-man called, well executed. Then Thomas Waldron uses added weight, and now the drive comes on. And get the penalty. Brilliant play. Absolutely superb.
That's a pretty decent exit strategy, isn't it? Just maul the living daylights out of the opposition and get a free clearing kick.
It's chuck your jumper up at the front, switch it to the middle, and then bring the extra troops in to keep the ball up, drive it forward and wait for Gloucester to give a penalty away.
Henry Slade makes a decent touch, and Bill Latham is down with the currently injured Gloucester second row forward, Tom Palmer.
Tom, you've had all the possession, well, a lot of the possession. What do you need to do just to get over that try line?
Well, there was one opportunity. I think we, in the first half, made a number of phases where I think Hibbard was playing a short ball and actually should have gone out the back. And I think we would have had a 4-on-2 had we done that. So, fair to Exeter, they're defending really well. We're holding on the ball fantastic well ourselves, getting to 22, but then not quite getting over the line, like you say. I think a lot of it's down to their good defence, really.
We saw last week how good Exeter's pack were, but at the set piece, you've really taken them on. How hard have you worked on that this week?
Yeah, really hard. We saw their game against Northampton last week, how they did a real job on Northampton set piece. We're one of the best teams in the country, so we knew it was going to be a big challenge. We've been working hard on that, and it's been paid dividends so far.
Thanks, Tom.
No problem.
Here is Johnny May, and was he tackled after the kick had gone through there? That's why the Shed are booing, and they are booing to attract the attention of John Lacey. Is he interested in those demands?
I don't think he is. I think he saw it. I think he was committed. And it's going off, isn't it, all over? People are losing their heads now. Trying to take a quick tap and go. Wetton, it's not to be. Have we got a touch judge coming in? We just have to have a little look. Here it is. That's a good pass to May. He goes, this is sensible. He kicks the ball now. Have a guess what the Shed see. It's Jack Noel on May. You got to see it real speed, to be honest. It always looks worse when we slow things up. You've got to say that Lacey was directly behind. He's seen that. He hasn't given it. He won't go to the TMO. But Gloucester are still the 22. They've got to really convert this now.
Well, there was Shed head pandemonium there. When Johnny May put that kick through, they think Jack Noel hit their hero late.
Great atmosphere.
This is great cup semi-final stuff now.
Well, this is Gloucester season, isn't it?
Not five, not five.
James Hook flat for Billy Meeks. In comes Kvesic. Johnny May again as the scrum half here. Now Callum Mahoney carrying impressively, carrying strongly, punching holes. Now Henry Purdy.
Hold.
Greg Laidlaw. Remember, we've seen Gloucester in this half go through a lot of phases before for very little result. Here's a four. Heineken Cup finalist with Ulster a few years back. Now James Hook tries to step. Thomas Waldrum makes the tackle. Callum Mahoney carries again. Now it's Matt Kvesic turn. John Afoa goes in, leaves it. No, he doesn't. Picks it up, John Afoa. Tom Savage helps him. Now Galarza. Well, they've enjoyed their stanzas in this first half, but no product. Maybe now they'll find some product as Billy Meeks goes in. And Billy Meeks, who scored tries in his last two games, thinks he's made it a critical hat-trick for the Cherry and Whites in this Challenge Cup semi-final.
Time out, please, Laurie.
Oh, my word. He's not endearing himself to the Shed, that's for sure.
Jim, can you hear me?
What is he
Johnny.
looking for? I think he just wants to confirm the ground. He will listen.
Yes or no.
Yes,
Try yes or no. Billy Meeks thinks he's got it. Everyone's walking back. Scored the second try, didn't he, from almost exactly the same move in the quarter-final against Connacht. The ball is there, the ball is there, the ball is down. That is a try.
Jim,
well done, Billy Meeks.
Jim,
Johnny, I have a decision.
Yes.
You may award the try.
Thank you.
That's what you get if you live on granola and that coffee shack in Manly Beach.
He's beaten the pie shot, mate. Great dexterity with hands there, but again it's like a carbon copy of the Connacht game. They were wearing green that night. He had to work for that one. It was easier against Connacht the second try. That time he grounds it superbly, and it's what Gloucester deserve with all the effort, all the face play. Forward smashing through line after line.
Greg Laidlaw, 22 from 26 in the Challenge Cup. Make that 23 from 27. And the home side now a 10 points to 3 lead. And again, it's James Hook who provides. He was the man who set up both of the tries against Connacht in the quarter-finals. And the Welshman delivers again for the Wallaby.
He just seems to know exactly when and when to pull the trigger. But now we'll get a response. I'm sure we'll get a response from the Chiefs. They've had hardly any ball, except for them. Now it's a bit of ball time for them.
Ben Moon carry. Here is Matt Jess. 55 tries he scored for the Chiefs in his 7 years at the club. Now Kai Horseman, man of the match in that triumphant LV Cup final last season. Here is Henry Slade, the tunnel ball for Jack Noel, and he tried to get that offload away, tried to pop it out of his hands, and a chance here to turn the ball over for Gloucester. Galarza goes down on it, and Gloucester come beavering in. And John Lacey allows that breakdown to develop, and Gloucester have it through Greg Laidlaw. Ian Whitten, ball still in play for the Chiefs, and Phil Dolman. Matt Jess once more steps inside Billy 12 trees, and now Phil Dolman. Tom Savage, one of the tacklers in there. Thomas Waldron to Henry Slade. Tackled by Henry Purdy. Two men with World Junior Championship success. Now Mitch Lees. Matt Jess plays scrum half. Here's Phil Dolman again, pulls the ball in behind for Ian Whitten. Now it's Ben Moon looking to show his pace. So now Jack Noel, more direct from Noel, son of a trawler man, and Chudley fires it out to Jack Yandel. So Exeter's turn to try and build a few stanzas here, a few phases. Sam Hill, Ian Whitten, Jack Noel. It's building and building for Exeter here. Jack Yandel, Dean Mum this time. He's off back to the Waratahs next season. Hopes to develop his World Cup dream, does Dean Mum, having served Exeter Chiefs brilliantly for 3 seasons. Chudley, Dave Ewers. And they're pummeling and driving now, the Chiefs. Chudley goes in again. What a line from Thomas Waldron. And Thomas Waldron, it's a great tackle that pulls him up short. There's still a chance here. And it's picked up by Kai Horseman, but the whistle has gone just when Horseman thought he had the freedom of Kingsholm to run into the corner.
How's your voice? What a game. Tremendous. It was just a forward pass at the end. Waldron does so well on a tremendous angle. It was set up by Ewers initially. That's a knock forward, obviously. There's no problem there. Well, I love Waldron. It was forward, it wasn't the knock. Doing Kai Horseman a disservice. He's played 7s for England. He's got tremendous hands. But it was a forward pass. But Waldron just bided a little bit of time when he went through. He just popped that ball like an egg through his legs. He couldn't quite get there. He couldn't quite get there in the first 2 minutes. Look at that for an angle. Look at that for a line. Just gets there, then hitches up. That ball comes out, and they're able to attack straight away. Gloucester can't quite get back there, and if it just was an inch or two further back, that would be a score in the corner.
Well, Thomas Waldron, he's been the big show for the Exeter Chiefs this season. 14 tries he scored, over 1,400 metres made in the 2 main competitions, and half a dozen carries today.
6 carries, we're here in 42 metres already from the big choo-choo. There you go. I've beaten our stats girls.
Just got to keep it up on the set, that's all.
5 caps for England. Waldron, he played for the Saxons against the Irish Wolfhounds in Cork in January. So is he back in the Stuart Lancaster thinking? we shall see when we get around to World Cup time and that extended squad being named.
Injuries. We've seen it with fly-outs. We saw it with New Zealand with 10s going into the final. This is one guy you would like to have, just in case, because he's been not the find of the season, as obviously, but as I said in the performance against Newcastle, you know, what was Leicester's loss has been the Chiefs' game. He's been fantastic for them.
Bind! Set. Early chase.
Early chase from the Exeter Chiefs.
Well, the crowd are playing it. They're part in this. They're appealing for everything. It's a proper old Gloucester game down here with the faithful demanding every decision. And this is the try. How many times have we seen that? Tremendous. Just dropped it on the boot. He knew exactly what he was doing. The big Australian read it superbly and splintered two Chiefs as he went over the line.
Jack Yendall finds his skipper, Dean Munn, 33 times, a wallaby. And Thomas Waldron with a rather loose pass. Dave Ewers gathers it. There's Chudley. What's the option here? Just to pop it out to Mitch Lees, helped by Dean Munn. 2 second rows together there. Here's Henry Slade. And now it's the nuggety centre, Sam Hill. He doesn't do an awful lot wrong, but there's been a bad clash there in midfield, and John Lacey, quite rightly, was very quick on the whistle there. Although Jack Noel, who's also a bit of a nuggety individual himself, seems to have made a pretty rapid recovery, but the blood is coming out of the head guard there.
There's a thing, wasn't it? These head guards don't protect you from concussion. Obviously, what they're trying to do is protect you from the knocks and the cuts. That must have been a severe clash of heads. Because it would look like it's come through there, but he'll be zippered up. He'll be no problem. Sam Hill, I like this lad. He runs straight south to north, north to south, and it's 12 trees. And I think Lacey did the exact thing because they just flopped on the floor. And the result is, well, we're nearly at half-time. I'm sure he'll just be stitched up and coming back on in second half.
Well, one thing, that the head guards don't protect you from concussion, but they're supposed to protect you from cuts. And that must have been some clash to cut his head through the head guard. On comes, I think that's Tom James, is it? Yes, it is, the Welshman. Welsh international Tom James is on for Jack Noel. And he's taken up a position on the left wing, which means Ian Whitten, who's played a lot of rugby in the centre, moves into the 13 slot.
Doesn't disrupt Matt. I think Whitten prefers to be in there. I think he knows where he is. Not as exposed, but he's a big server. But like I said, Hill inside just give him a target. Now Slade, and as we go down again, this has been, well, one way from Gloucester. They seem to be getting every result in the scrum area. It's amazing when you come with a big rap, you know, looking back to last week, what that lad did to Corbacero and to Northampton Saints. And they love it, you know. It's the team talk in a sense. We're going to beat you. We're going to have a big ball carriers, Ewers, Waldron coming off the scrum. When we push you back in the scrum, they go, no, you're not.
Well, last week, Nick Wood, he basically barbecued Matt Shields, the Harlequins' tight head, and 4 penalties they won against the Quins. They did go down at the Stoop in a tight game, but they were dominant in the scrum, and I think they were looking forward to taking on what is supposed to be this mighty Exeter scrummaging machine.
Absolutely right, and he was so powerful last week that Marler basically had to give the penalty away that put him in the sin bin, because he came running around the corner to try and take the pressure off his tight head.
Well, he very often takes the penalty kicks from halfway. You might remember against Saracens here in the Premiership, he landed a kick from this distance, 55 metres, with the last kick of the game to win that Premiership match here at Kingsholm. Well, he's a man who scored over 1,500 points for the Ospreys, for Perpignan and for Gloucester, and when it comes to that range, James Hook is a mighty specialist.
It was like a cannon going off. Deathly silence, stepped up, and absolutely just whamped it over, didn't he? What a kick.
Yeah.
Paul Forbun-esque.
Slade's restart comes off the fingers of Tom Savage. Callum Mahoney goes in there. And they've turned... Well, the ball was knocked on in there, so it's a scrummage to Exeter. A final opportunity in this first half for Exeter, and they've really got to find some sort of springboard at scrum time here.
They have to find something. 13-3 going in at semi-final half-time. That's a nice lead. That's a lovely lead. Bearing in mind, Exeter will have a little bit of the wind in the second half. I think Dolman's limping off, but I think that will help them. They'll have to get back to their kicking game. I mean, as you said, they kick the ball second only to Saracens both in the Premiership, so they do like to put sort of the boot on the ball, but I think they're going to have to go back into the second half. They have to rethink after the half-time talk.
Final 30 seconds. That wasn't straight from Will Sidley. When is it ever?
Red, one red.
Again, a mess at scrum time, and at last Exeter may well get something from that set piece. The call coming on this occasion from the touch judge on this near side, and Nick Wood is the man who is penalised. But the scrum there just seemed to simply collapse all corners.
Well, it looked again like the two guys just went in. Initially, you've got to say that Exeter were going slightly forward. There's the ball. Like I said, it goes straight into the second row. It doesn't matter. They go forward a little bit, then it goes in. I don't know. It got called from the touch judge. The referee's given it. Slades gets a chance at 3. A wry smile from Nick Wood. And over to the youngster.
Well, Henry Slade, his last kick, tickled the crossbar. Knocked off a few flakes of rusty paint. But this one much more comfortably within his range. He's landed 11 of his last 13 kicks as Henry Slade, and they need this Exeter to give them something to chew on going into half-time. And it's Gloucester who take the lead though into the break in this European Challenge Cup semi-final by 13 points to 6.
Bit of an ugly duckling scoreline, but a swan of a game. We feel this one could come to life.
Real intensity from both sides, but a bit of urgency, a bit of tempo. There was exactly what he wanted. Not quite the outcome we would have imagined going into it, particularly with the attacking talent on show. But I'm really impressed with the way Gloucester physically have taken Exeter on. At times throughout this season, been a little reticent about being physical, and haven't really brought that intensity at regular intervals. But today they certainly have. The set piece has gone really well for them. It's really given them, they seem to be winning the collisions at times, and when they do that, they're controlling the game as they wish. Really, things have gone well for Gloucester in that capacity.
Yeah, I think Gloucester are playing like their season depends on it. And they've come out here with great intensity. You saw it right from the get-go, from the restart. They got over the lane line, they got through, and they've controlled that game line really well. And they have worked like I've not seen them work all season.
Okay.
And for that reason, they're finding space.
And we're looking now at the tempo with which they're playing the game, and this is the sign of a side in control.
I think so, and they've identified with Exeter. Exeter don't throw many people into the breakdown, so they're picking up, really working hard to get around the corner. Johnny May's looking for work to get on there, attacking the outside shoulder of the guard, getting the big ball carriers, and then they're changing the tactics and then going a little bit one or two passes wider. But I like the variety of the type of game. They identified where the weakness is. Exeter are quite comfortable spreading wide across the field. Okay. So there are gaps, you need to pull the defenders in to rape the gaps out wide.
Yeah, I mean, they're just working around the corner. It's rap rugby at its best. It's continuous. They know that they're not going to get any heat on the ball. And they're just going to say, we're going to keep coming around the corner. We're going to keep carrying hard until you run out of numbers. And our space will then appear in the wider channels.
All right, there were a couple of opportunities that they created early on. They hold the lead and they took one. But in terms of opportunities missed, what have you spotted, Jan?
Well, it's cause and effect. The cause is that they pulled the defenders in, and that's created a little bit of a gaps, stretched the integrity of the defences out there. And this creates opportunities. And if you run out wide here, again, good work by Savage, gets across there. But if you pause here now, Meeks gets the ball. Now you can imagine defenders are turning their backs away. Jess turning his backs away. It's created the chances, right? And then all he needs to do is take that angle to hold defenders and then create the opportunity out wide. Outside him are two international wings. Hold the line. Yeah. Don't run across the field. Hold the line. Create the space out wide. When you have Johnny May, Charlie Sharples it. And once again, another opportunity. Two men outside. You see Johnny May's frustration. Probably why he's looking for the ball outside the scrum half at the moment, because twice they've created great opportunities to really good build-up play, but you've got to capitalise them.
How much imperative do you put on those internationals outside him to maybe communicate more? Can that sometimes be the case? He doesn't realise, doesn't give them the option to cut back inside, perhaps?
Perhaps it's the occasion, perhaps you can't hear the noises, hear the shed there, but you expect players of this sort of level to identify. Okay. It's not about looking for the contact, avoid the contact. Rugby's about creating and exploiting space. When you have that space, you need to make the most of it, because it doesn't happen very often.
How many times do you see it semi-final time that guys just tighten up and they start looking down their own channel? And I think that's all we've seen from him. You know, it's like two great opportunities and the same guy's blown them twice.
All right, Pat, Picasso, your turn on the paint machine. Brilliant. Good sir. What have you got for us from an Exeter perspective?
So I think it's two very contrasting styles, isn't it? You know, we saw from Gloucester this rap rugby coming around the corner. Exeter very, very different. They present both sides of every single breakdown. They don't wrap around the corner. They just reload. And it's very, very evident. It nearly led to a try early on. And you can see, we'll pause it straight away, but these guys here on the outside channels, they're not wrapping around the corner. They're just tracking around. If this is Gloucester, these guys are working around the corner, and it's multi-phase same way. As we play this on, they take it up again, and what do we see again? Exactly the same pattern. These guys in the channel just reloading and creating numbers down that side. Again, if it's Gloucester, they wrap around the corner, and they play back towards those numbers dead easy, loads of space. Two very, very contrasting styles of rugby, equally as effective.
Exeter like going to the extremities. They stretch defences through a different way. They're both trying to do the same thing, the outcome, but they achieve through different means.
Absolutely right, it is. It's just two very contrasting ways. You know, one works around the corner till you run out of numbers and then the space arrives. With Exeter, they fill the pitch and they present both sides of every single breakdown.
So it's not a question of right or wrong. We're not saying one's doing it right, one's doing it wrong. This is just the way the two sides have chosen to approach this.
One thing I will say is it's an awful lot harder to do what Gloucester are doing for 80 minutes, because there's loads and loads and loads of running involved. These guys, it's optimal. I mean, they're walking back 10 metres and they're presenting a threat again, and I think that might tell come the last 10 minutes.
Particularly in view that second half, Exeter will have the significant breeze at their back. So it's quite a strong breeze.
Yeah, see, that would worry me if I was Gloucester. You know, they've got a back three that aren't particularly good kickers. Fantastic runners, but not good kickers. And if Exeter play the win right, that could be very material in the second half.
It has been a beautiful spring evening here. It is descending into an electric night as Gloucester take their place back out here on Kingsholm. They hold the lead 13-6 over Exeter. Very familiar foes with 40 minutes to decide a place in the Challenge Cup final against Edinburgh. Let's hand you back upstairs to Dowie and Mark.
Well, sheds are supposed to be quiet places where you do your potting, but not on the evidence of the cacophony coming from that direction in the first half. But an update on the European regulations means that if an otherwise non-qualified English team wins the Challenge Cup, then they'll take the Premiership's allocated playoff place for the Champions Cup. So real incentive then for Gloucester, placed lowly in the league. The Challenge Cup suddenly looks a lot more important, and Gloucester know it. And they've got the lead going into this second half, but they do have a habit, Dowie, of starting the second 40 in games slowly. Well, they cannot afford that here.
Absolutely, Robert, they can't afford to, because again there is a wind. Jan alluded to it, and I think again they'll be pretty cagey, pretty pragmatic. Well, Exeter Chiefs, you and Ewers straight away to hold this ball up. 2 phases, it'll go back to Slade and then boom down the paddock.
Let's see if that's exactly what happens. There you go, Nostradamus, well done. Now Charlie Sharples. 10 tries all told this season with work like that. Here's Kovacic, and he's high on the try-scoring charts too. Is the man of Croatian-Polish descent.
Well, it's the back row, isn't it? Again, Moriarty's come on and carried the ball. And Kovacic's then got his 8th carry straight away into the heart of the back row, doing so much damage.
Hold. Greg Laidlaw, here is Calamafoni again, just barreling his way into that defence. Now Tom Savage, Jack Yendall makes the tackle, but Tom Savage makes those critical hard meters, but John Lacey...
Clear out now, Green.
Well, I thought he was playing an advantage there to Exeter, but it's Gloucester who have recycled here again. In goes Moriarty to clear out, to present the ball for Greg Laidlaw, and now James Hook and Johnny May. Thomas Waldron makes the tackle. Laidlaw again, Richard Hibbard.
Well, they didn't go around the corner that time. Actually, they've split the their power and their big run as they come to the right.
Greg Laidlaw. Here is Billy Meeks. Steps through and gets past Dave Ewers, and here is Billy 12 trees. Sharples is after this one, and they've got to be sharp here in defence, and they are. And Henry Slade and Matt Jess between them get the ball away, and Billy Meeks has to get back there quickly to sweep up. Here's Matt Jess. Oh, Meeks has dropped it, and Jess has claimed it, and now it's the clear out from Exeter. Then Sharples picks it up. And again, it's a breathless exchange.
Well, we saw Thomas Waldron run the length, didn't we, in the first 2, 3, 4 minutes when Gloucester had a turnover. And equally, it's a brilliant bit of skill from Slade. 12 trees put his toe on it. Slade gets back there, and watch this for an offload to Jess, and then boom, down the paddock again. That's the game. You got the wind advantage, it's the chase. Meeks going back there, there's 2 worth 1, and literally go down on the ball, and then he drops it. Does it go backwards? Lacey reckons it has gone backwards. It doesn't matter. One end, well, it's end-to-end stuff. There you go.
Everything for each other. That was the cry from the Exeter men coming down the tunnel for the start of this second half. Now, can Thomas Francis get the nudge on Nick Wood? It has, as we predicted, been a key battle in this game. John Lacey allows play to go on once more because the ball is at the number 8's feet. Here is Henry Slade on the switch for Matt Jess. Tackle from Laidlaw. Clearing out quickly for Will Chudley. Now Ben Moon. He goes into the guts of that Gloucester defence. Here is Dean Munn. Billy 12 trees makes the tackle. Will Chudley comes in. Jack Yandel. Good angle from Yandel. Left his run late and then hit the ball at pace.
Ball available. Use it!
And it's there for Chudley. Jack Noel, he thought he saw a way around that cherry and white defence. Here is Will Chudley, and here's the power drive. Mitch Lees, Will Chudley again. Now Dave Ewers can score from here unless Gloucester can get underneath him, because the big Zimbabwean-born flanker has all the power in the world. But it was held up, and again, great defensive work over the line. And was it the diminutive little Scottish scrum half in there who did that work?
Well, somebody did. Laidlaw was there. Kvesic came in over the top, but the ball was held up. Dave Ewers. He is a big, powerful, strong young lad. Again, Hibberd just bounces off him. We see Hibberd committed himself fair dues to Laidlaw. We saw a performance, didn't he, from Sam Hugo Clyde last night for Edinburgh, and he's kept his side well in this game. That's a try-saving tackle, if ever you've seen one.
There is a penalty, though. This offload from Henry Slade. Well, we saw Dave Ewers delivering a similar type of offload to Thomas Waldron for a try in the quarter-final. It was deft and it was sympathetic. Now, he needs some sympathy on this kick to get his side to within 4 points.
He didn't have to move that one forward.
Yes, that was off the men's tees, not the ladies' tees on that occasion.
Again, the game can change, can't it? You think Gloucester, for all their strength coming on the ball, one little turnover, he's right down the paddock, and they Exeter come away with 3.
It was rhubarb and custard all over it. Tap back by Gallard, so here's Ross Moriarty, Laidlaw, and Nick Wood. I think he saw the Exeter defence coming hard at him there, and maybe that just distracted him, or maybe he wasn't expecting it anyway. That's the 6th handling error by Gloucester.
I think he saw an Australian with a big blue cap, and that's Dean Munn, and he just saw him there, and he's normally brilliant. I mean, he can play like a back row forward. His hands are superb, not on that occasion. Again, 2 quick mistakes, and all of a sudden that word momentum's coming into the Exeter Chiefs. They got a good scrum halfway, as long as this can be held up. And what Nick Wood is doing, he's lowering the point of engagement. He's not letting Francis get up and get the power on him, so that's why we're seeing so many scrums go down.
Dean Munn bearing down there. He's being replaced next season by Jeff Parling on his way from Leicester. And Waldron, can he control this ball? It's going to be difficult to, but he's done well. The man from Lower Hupton, New Zealand, and it's a switch kick from Henry Slade. Back there goes another Henry Purdy, the second. English. Here's Jack Noel, another proud Englishman. English international, played in the Six Nations, try scorer in the Six Nations.
And move.
Dean Munn, the carrier. Now Tom James to Jack Noel. And through comes Billy 12 trees, and I think Will Chudley actually just knocked the ball on at the base there.
Right in front of the shed, he wasn't going to get away with that. Anyway, he did. Again, we've seen a couple of errors from Gloucester, now one from the Chiefs. You've got to give credit to Jack Noel. You can see there he came off for, he's obviously got quite a few stitches underneath that hat. It doesn't really matter, he's carrying the ball back. He's taking knock after knock. That's great commitment from the youngster.
8 caps for Jack Noel, 4 tries, 2 of those tries coming against France in the Six Nations. The Chiefs, by the way, have recorded 8 away wins in all competitions this season, 4 in the league, including that success here at Kingsholm. So they do not get a nosebleed when they leave Devon, Exeter Chiefs, these days. Very effective away from Sandy Park.
And that's why they're building. Rob Baxter's team is building year after year. You know, start off small, get the right people, a bit like Francis when he's come on. He hasn't had it all his own way. But Rob Baxter knows the people, and then he said, right, we can make you better players, and then you deliver on the paddock for us, and that's what they've done. He said that in the interview, it's a stepping stone, these type of games now. And that's not being arrogant in the slightest. It's just that they expect to come here and perform. But fair dues to Gloucester. Moriarty packing down the side. They've given them a fight tonight. And that scrum goes down again. I'm no expert. Moon looks around. I've got to say, there's been quite a few penalties going Gloucester's way.
James Hook pushes Gloucester up the pitch. Ben Moon, the guilty man on that occasion. John Four is the Gloucester tight head, the All Black.
Well, you've got to say that John Afoe's legs have gone back on that occasion. Anyway, I'm sure there'll be people on settees saying one thing and other people saying others, but let's get back to the action.
Ross Moriarty carries again. Here's Laidlaw for Hibbard. Jack Noel has got through a lot of work defensively as Jack Noel in this game. Tom Savage then sets for Laidlaw, and now it's Hook to 12 trees, and here is Henry Purdy. Laidlaw, Savage just ships it on to Calamafoni, played for Tonga in the last World Cup, that famous victory for them against the French. Hibbard, oh, Hibbard's through here as he got the pace. The tackle's made by Ben Moon, and it had to be made. Here's Kovacic. Can he select the right option for James Hook? Oh, he was looking for the Sonny Bill out of the backdoor offload there, but then he thought better of it. But Exeter have come in and turned the ball over here, and is it going to be salvation for Exeter through Henry Slade?
Well, that's a
sick turnover in this game by the Chiefs.
Again, it's that breakdown. Gloucester's so good at a Hibbard. One Welshman making yard after yard after yard, and then Hook sees an opportunity. That ball's coming out superbly. Kovacic doesn't quite know initially after this what to do. Give it a Hook. Give it to the little genius that can create things. The problem with it is, as he goes through, he just gets isolated. That's Kovacic again. Offload. You can just see there, and he wanted someone on his right-hand side. Have someone on his right-hand side, you get a chance of scoring. What's happened? They're back on the halfway. Slade, with the wind, is booting them back up there.
Up goes Gallant. Was he taken out of the air? Did he fall over his own man? Savage carries. Another industrious man tonight is Tom Savage.
And Hook's in total control out there, Rob. He's just asking his forwards, you're going to dig in, come round the corner more for me before you give me the ball.
James Hook for 12 trees, and the Exeter defence saw that one coming. Laidlaw, and he tries to go underneath through the cap flap, doesn't quite succeed. Johnny May comes in at scrum half again. We saw him there quite regularly in the first half. And it's John Four, ships it on beautifully to Kovacic. What a tackle from Mitch Lees. All 19.5 stones of Australian hitting you somewhere around the throat area. Here's Chudley. And Chudley finds good meterage there, and off go Gloucester quickly through Hook. And now Purdy again, and here's the gas from Henry Purdy. Henry Slade made the tackle, Kovacic, and now it's John Four. Where are the whippets? It's all forwards out there. They needed the pace man. They may yet find them. Here's 12 trees, and here is one of those pace men. There's another one outside him. Oh, Charlie Sharples was on his right shoulder, Johnny May. And has he taken the wrong option there, as Exeter come flying through Ian Whitten and give away the penalty.
Johnny May. You back yourself, you got to score. He did that in an England shirt, and some say that's why you're not playing for them. You've got to give that ball to Sharples. You're lucky to get with a penalty attempt. Purdy did so well. Such a powerful back three, haven't they? He steps his team man. There's no cover on the inside. Yandel can't get there. Was it Francis? You can just see Slade can get there in the end. Waldron comes back. Good presentation. Here's Johnny May. Akers, Noel is going to go. Noel is going to go. You have to. I mean, you're not saying that Noel wouldn't get back into the corner, but Sharples is going to make another 10 metres. He'll have a chance to hold off Noel.
Greg Laidlaw, 4 from 6 against Harlequins last week on a pretty blustery, windy day in London. And it's a pretty blustery, windy night here at Kingsholm, but he hasn't managed at that time. And you can see the tension on David Humphrey's face.
He's kicked a few in his time, hasn't he? As our Humps, but it's a double whammy. They didn't get the try or a chance of a try because that pass should have gone. And Laidlaw, normally very, very accurate, has just missed that. So again, this is going to go downtown. Oh no, he's going to give his forwards a chance to regroup.
Up goes Johnny May. Here's John Afoe. Yeah, Johnny May, one of the reasons potentially why he was dropped by England after that Italy game, when he failed to find his man in an overlap situation very similar to that one. Here's 12 trees with the step. Dean Mummett is who makes the tackle. Jack Nolan has made a lot of tackles himself. Now Galarza. Dean Mumm in there again. Here's Laidlaw. Doing a lot of sniping around the fringes or Gloucester.
He's played like a back row, not as big as a back row, but he likes to get stuck in, doesn't he? He likes to get down and dirty.
Callum Afoe carries. James Hook was always set for the kick there because he was a little bit deep. In comes May, and they've all missed it, and the ball's going to go into touch.
Slade not commanding that then. You've got to get the furthest man back, comes onto the ball and calls for it. And as it was, there was a lot of people, a lot of debris around, and he didn't command that. Didn't command the airways. They're lucky to get away with the throw-in. Didn't touch anyone. Crucial call now from Exeter Chiefs. They need a little bit of ball. They need a good exit. They need to get back down into Gloucester half.
Jack Yandel.
That's 1-9-1.
Here's Chudley. Johnny May need to make up for that earlier error. Can he make up for it now as he takes the pass from Charlie Sharples? Kai Horseman makes the tackle. 2 Man of the Match awards in the Challenge Cup this season for Kai Horseman. 14th tackle from the former Worcester man. He's actually played in a Challenge Cup final for Worcester against Bath in 2008. Dowie Morris is pointing downtown. Will Chudley must have taken a sneaky look up to the commentary box there. I missed it, but it's gone too far and drifts into the in-goal area.
But that's what they want to do. They're not going to risk playing out from their 22. They're well in this game, 4 points. You get 20-odd, 24 minutes left. That's where they need to see Gloucester in their 22 kicking out. Exeter all season have been in situations like this. They won't panic, they'll just get through it, they'll use their processes. They've got a lot of old heads out there, Dean Mumm for one, Waldron. They'll know what to do. They've just got to get the ball and protect the ball.
Slade, who played at outside centre in the 2 league games against Gloucester this season. Oh, and it's knocked forward by Sione Callum Afoe. So the 7th handling error for Gloucester in this game. And this gives the Exeter Chiefs the chance of some sort of a foothold in Chiefs territory.
Don't do anything flashy, and that's exactly what they're doing. Slade, that is a beauty. Outside the 22, 3-4 seconds. Callum Afoe should take it. He's normally very good. It's a semi-final. All of a sudden, you know, you're underneath the lights, something happens, you drop the ball at that, and look where the Chiefs are, and that's exactly where they wanted to be.
Well, Exeter could feature in 3 finals this season and therefore emulate Northampton, who won this competition and the Premiership last season. In the LV final, the Saints actually lost to Exeter, remember, down at Sandy Park, but they've got to win this one first.
They do. It's very evenly balanced. The scrum has got to be said that it's gone Gloucester's way. I don't agree with a few of those decisions. I'm no expert, make your own mind up, but Gloucester have come into this thinking that they'd be pushed back. They haven't. They really fought. Their back row have carried superbly. Hook has been in total command, and the back three have got plenty of gas to burn. But this is a crucial now scrum for the Chiefs. Can they launch something off this?
Exeter Chiefs in the playoff places in the Premiership. They've already played in the final this season, losing to Saracens in the LV Cup. And looking to springboard on here from Kingsholm into the final in 2 weeks' time at the Twickenham Stoop against Edinburgh.
Finish off when I blow the whistle. Okay? I want stability, we didn't get it. Okay?
That's what we all want, isn't it? A bit of stability.
Well, Exeter have lost 3 scrums in this match.
Crouch! Just watch the angle now, Robert. Watch how low Nick Wood is trying to take Francis down. So you can see initially his shoulders are well below that of the Chief. He goes in. That's okay.
Again, John Lacey wants play to go on, and here is Sam Hill, and a little wrap around. Here is Chudley and Ian Whitten. It's all working pretty well so far. The Gloucester defence is going to have to be alert here. Kvesic trying to get over the ball, the king of the turnovers, but he hasn't managed it here, and they've given away the penalty, and it's pretty much directly in front of the posts.
It's knowing when and when not to pounce. John Lacey won't shy away making the decisions, or the harsh decisions. That was good play again from all the backs.
Just that line, yeah.
Well, that's one of the things Laurie Fisher's been working on this season with Matt Kvesic, when to go in and jackal and when not to. And that was on the 22 in front of his own post.
To be fair, I think Kvesic's actually coming over the top. It's given for 6. Calamafoni not getting away. He's lay on the ball, so I'm doing him a disservice if that was the case. And Calamafoni was given the penalty for. It is pretty noisy here.
So you're saying not guilty, Kvesic?
I've gone to the TMO. I've revised the decision, and I think he was okay.
Henry Slade, he needs that immaculate left boot of his to be immaculate again. Which he has done, and 13 points to 12 is the score. Exeter Chiefs coming back into it, and we're joined by their head coach. What do you now have to do, Rob Baxter, to kick on and beat these Gloucester men?
Well, I think we've got to pretty much do what we do. You know, most of this game for us is going to be about staying in the fight, and that's obviously fighting and having discipline defensively. And when Gloucester get momentum and they get the crowd behind them, and then when we get opportunities like that, when we get that bit of field position, just make sure we're clinical and we're putting some pressure on Gloucester. You know, what we have to do is put some pressure on Gloucester. You know, we're slowly creeping back to them. You know, they're the team at home. They're the team whose crowd are kind of very vocal and taking a big part in this game. We have to do things that make Gloucester feel under pressure, and a big part of that is getting some decent field position and then maintaining some possession when we get field position, and that's going to be the key. And obviously, you know, Gloucester will be looking to do the same. Now we're starting to eke things back possession-wise, and that's what we've got to maintain. You know, we've got to complete tackles now. We've got to have the next piece of possession in some decent field position.
Okay, Rob, thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you.
Laidlaw. Tom Francis has gone off, so too Nick Wood has departed, so Dan Murphy is on, and he immediately saw some possession there, did Murphy. Replacement prop. Here is Richard Hibbard. Yeah, they got to get some territory, as Rob Baxter pointed out. Tom Savage keeping the Exeter Chiefs for the moment inside their own half. James Hook to 12 trees, the missed pass here to Billy Meeks, and Henry Purdy was close by.
Well, Jess made the decision to come in there. It was a great pass from 12 trees, but he did get back in time.
Kvesic carries and sets. And a little flick pass from James Hook. Did that go forward? John Lacey says no, and in comes Waldron. There was a knock on. Scrummage will go the Exeter Chiefs' way. We haven't seen too much of the really explosive running from Thomas Waldrum and Dave Ewers so far. Maybe they could do with a bit more of that in this last quarter.
But again, they're not going to do any in their own half. They need Slade, they need to get some ball to win the ball. Turnovers like this will happen. And maybe the scrum will sort itself out now that Wood and Francis has gone off. That battle, I think, was won by Wood. I wouldn't say hands down, but he did a challenge was given. The gauntlet was laid down, and he happily picked it up and drove hard all afternoon, well, all evening for the 60-odd minutes. But this gives the Chiefs a chance now to exit, get down there, what Rob Baxter was saying. They just need to be playing down the t'other end.
Bind! Set!
He's allowed a lot of scrums to reach completion tonight as John Lacey, but not on that occasion as the front row forwards go skywards.
You'd have to say that it did obviously come round to the left in the end, but the Chiefs had a wee nudge on Dean Munn, as any good captain of pack leaders, just straight up to the referee, having a little chat here, there, you know, we're going forward, ref, are we going to get one? But again, you've got to say Lacey's positive. If it wheels around, he said get it out from the number 8. That time he just wants to see, have a look at a reset.
Exeter Chiefs' second knockout journey in the Challenge Cup. They lost in the quarter-finals to Stade Francais 3 years ago, winning their quarter-final this time against the Newcastle Falcons, scoring 6 tries in that game at Sandy Park when they basically ran Newcastle off their feet.
They did. There's not a lot of running at the moment. They're just resetting, rethinking.
There's 4 people.
There's there. They have braved the shed. The tomahawk chop boys, they're in the middle of it. Brave people. Good on you.
Bind! Set!
Oh, penalty to Gloucester. Remember, there are new men on in the front row. And that is the 4th scrum penalty against Exeter, but it's one of the old hands who was on from the start. He's penalised there. Not the replacement, it's Ben Moon, the loose head.
It's something to do with binding on the arm. I think you've got to be binding. Will we have a look? Yeah.
Second penalty against Moon. And they've gone into the corner. In the meantime, have Gloucester.
Wow. There's some noise being generated over there. There's some noise being generated everywhere. They know Pat said about it, this is their season. They've got 15 odd minutes now just to try and hold on, maybe extend this lead, they go to a final.
Just to remind you, they did score 2 tries from driving mauls against Exeter in the league game. They're a long way out here, but they're on the surge, accelerating through the big men towards that Chiefs line. Here is Savage. With 15 minutes to go, a try from Gloucester now might just be enough to take them into the final. John Lacey is playing an advantage here, a penalty advantage to Gloucester. Now, will they chip it into the corner again, or will they try to build a lead?
They will chip it into the corner. And again, if Exeter bring it down, they'll be playing the next 10 minutes with 14, I'm sure. John Lacey hasn't warned them yet, but anything sort of 5 metres out that stops a try, a professional foul will be given a yellow, I'm sure. Hook does the right thing. The brains trust get together. The forwards know the call. Can the hooker hit his man? And then it's all about holding your nerve, getting your body positions right, and pushing like heck.
Rimmer on for Ben Moon, the recently penalised loose head. So Moon departs.
Ready?
Camera phones at the ready for posterity. Will this be an historical season for Gloucester if they can win this Challenge Cup? And this would really give them a chance if they can surge towards, on and over the Exeter line from here. Exeter have stopped them just short. Greg Laidlaw. The Exeter Chiefs defending has to be legal and has to be secure here. And Kvesic goes in to help drag Gloucester over the line. And the hothouse of Kingsholm heats up. And it's Tom Savage who has scored the try on his birthday.
Well, he's been having a tremendous game in the line-out, pushing his heart out in the scrums and around the field, carrying the ball, tackling everything that moves, and he's just put a little cherry on the top. That was a team try, that was a forwards try. Savage gets the acclaim for it, but it was well worked. They had the bravery to go into the corner twice, and this time when it comes out, he's initially the guy to get the ball. They don't panic. Exeter fire people in left, right and centre. Hold your nerve. Goes down once, and then it's one drive. You mentioned it, Robbo. Kvesic at the back as well. He wasn't used. Savage was. Try.
What a moment for Tom Savage. Players latching around him and onto him to help him on his short journey across the line. And Greg Laidlaw takes the journey with the boot between the posts to extend the lead out crucially to 8 points.
He's got to score twice. Everyone's having great fun here. It's not over yet. I've seen Exeter come back on more than 1 or 2 occasions this season. They got 12 minutes to do it. But I tell you what, that was a good score, a good nervy score from Gloucester.
Henry Purdy, Kai Horseman did well to get a fingertip on him, because Purdy really is, as I said at the start, he's one of the lightning forks in this Gloucester back three with real pace. Callum Mahoney plays scrum half now. Here's Hibbard. Laidlaw, Matt Kvesic. Try scorer Savage rumbles in and over, and Greg Laidlaw puts in the kick. In comes Tom James, contestable kick, well taken by James. He's now taken up a station at full back after the departure of Phil Dolman. They got to act fast of Exeter Chiefs. Good pickup off the rhubarb and custard toes by Henry Slade, but he's given it straight to Charlie Sharples, who puts in a skew-F kick, but it's worked out well. Johnny May keeps it in play. Back to Sharples, and James Hook was coming up at pace there. He just halted his run in the end, and now it's Moriarty.
No hands! No hands!
Penalty, and that'll do Gloucester. That'll do the cherry and whites.
The clock ticks down, another penalty given. The leaking pens now are Exeter Chiefs, right in front of the posts. This should be another 3 points, just extending the lead. And these youngsters just love to run with the ball. See Purdy on the left wing, Johnny May, sorry, making up for himself on the right, putting the ball back into Sharples' hands. Everything seems to be going Gloucester's way in these last few minutes or so after that Savage try. Not his best kick, but May does well. Puts the ball back inside, gets the benefit from the touch judge. It doesn't matter. It's a cherry and white one-way tidal wave at the moment.
Well, Greg Laidlaw, the Gloucester scrum half and goal kicker, could be playing against Sam Hidalgo-Klein in the final in a couple of weeks' time. But right now, he's a big kick ahead of him. Hidalgo-Klein, interesting comment a couple of weeks back. He said at 10, it's all in front of you. At 9, it's all behind you. But for Greg Laidlaw right now, it's all in front of him. Oh, it's there from Laidlaw. And that might be the kick that takes the cherry and whites down the M4 to the stoop.
You got to say the Chiefs have been more pragmatic this year. That's why they're 4th in the league. They kick the ball a lot. The end of last year, they like to run the ball, the wide and wonderful stuff. They ain't got an option now. 9 minutes to go. They've got to throw this ball. They're going to throw caution to the wind and have a go. And they're going to collect this restart for a start, and that's not gone 10. Oh dear.
Well, Gloucester have played it though through Bully 12 trees. So on we go. Their decision. Here's Hook. Just want to keep the ball inside the Exeter Chiefs territory. Off goes Dave Ewers. They need to make something magical happen quickly. Matt Kvesic went in there and he stripped the ball out. So that is part of the open side skill set. The link man, the jackler, now stripping ball and carrying two. Stuart Lancaster, I'm sure, will be keeping a very close eye on the progress of Matt Kvesic this season. Well, here's an opportunity for the Chiefs to possibly push the ball, pump the ball, drill the ball as deep into that Gloucester corner as they possibly can.
Will he go for broke? You should say you got many, but sometimes you've got to really gamble. Give your forwards at least the chance. So this is going somewhere between the 22 and the 5. 10 metres out, I think, is perfect, but he's not going to get a chance. He's been shepherd crooked. Steenson comes on, and his first attempt for the Dungannon boy is to put this in the corner. Will his forwards like it? Not much.
Yeah, quite a call from Rob Baxter at that stage, but right-footed kicker, Steenson.
Do you think you just leave it a couple of more seconds?
Sorry, mate.
Well, I'm not telling Rob to do how to do his job by any means whatsoever, but that's something to ask for a new fly half. Oh dear. The wheels are falling off. Savage again.
And that's their second lost line out, and what a time to lose when Elvis Tyone is on for Richard Hibbard now. Not the introduction that the mighty Tongan might have hoped for.
Okay, here we go.
Elvis has entered the building and not delivered a straight ball to his skipper, Dean Mumm. So scrummage to Gloucester inside the final 7 minutes now. And they'll be in no rush.
John Afoe is a good night, isn't he? Again, it's, as said before, Exeter Chiefs. The new kids on the block, in a sense. Gloucester have had so many players coming in, so many sort of leaving this season. They've had an up and down season, no consistency. But when people come to Kingsholm and say they're going to do this to them, they want a response, and there has been. But that's a pretty good scrum for the first time tonight.
Off goes Waldron at last, really getting that heavy duty carrying into the game, and yours as well. But is it too late? They need a try right here, right now, to give themselves a chance. Steenson pops it to Hill. The defence at the moment is sound. Oh, and Richard Hibbard comes in with one of those low, and they look like illegal tackles, those. He's really chopping the ankles in there, is Richard Hibbard. Is he using the arms? Here is Waldron, chips through for Ian Whitten to chase. Back there goes Charlie Sharples, and he's able to let the ball roll away.
Again, Richard Hibbard is a committed hooker. He carries the ball superbly. And is it brave the way he tackles? Because you have to attempt to wrap the arm round. It's very American football-like. Oh, here we go.
Off they go with a tap. Not going for the corner. An interesting option. It's Dave Lewis, former Gloucester man. Lewis looks and digs and finds some support, and the drive is from Thomas Waldron. 14 tries this season. Now they got a recycled drive, and have they got the ball to touch the whitewash there?
Yes,
and Exeter have hope. It's a glimmer, but they have hope.
Well, they turned down going for the corner, because if they're caught and drive there, it makes the kick, the conversion hard. They've gone into the middle, they tapped and went. They've got to try. This is a 7-pointer. Steenson won't miss this. You mentioned it, Robbie, you said it. They have a chance. It's not much of one, but they've definitely given themselves a chance.
Well, Elvis Tyone's already scored a try in a semi-final this season against Leicester in the LV. How important might that one be? Might it be more important? And they really did rush hard there through Johnny May and Sharples, but Steenson's potted the extra two.
There you go. The ball is on the line. It's on the line. It's a try. It was a good play. It's those Blues brothers, those partners in crime again, wasn't it? Ewers and Waldron in tandem. Basically, you just carried him over the line, Waldron. That's not easy. And then they recycled the ball, gives them a chance. Here we go. They need a try. 4 minutes to go. 5 points will do it.
A knee-knocking denouement at Kingsholm. Richard Hibbard, 15 carries today. And Welshman departs. His job is done, but Exeter's job is far from done. Here is yours. Got to keep possession here.
Inside.
Dave Lewis, Gareth Steenson. Here's Jack Noel. He's recovered from that sliced head injury in the first half, and he shed a fair amount of blood. Here's Tom James. Dave Lewis. And here's Dave Ewers. Oh, what if he could have got that ball away slightly earlier? They might have been in, but it's going to be Johnny May who unzips the Exeter defence. And now they can celebrate and plan their trip to London.
Well, that time, Johnny May didn't have to pass the ball. He just intercepted it, and that was it. That is it. They are in a final. They will be playing Edinburgh. It's just one offload too many debuts. They have to play. They've got to play the way out of trouble. What a lovely sight for Gloucester fans, Gloucester supporters. Exeter just got themselves back in the game, and that says it all. What a great Saturday it is. We're going to a final.
50 seconds left.
Yes, Humps, you are.
Well, madness are appearing here on the 30th of May, but there was madness there from the shed. The noise was incredible when Johnny May got hold of that ball, because as soon as he got hold of that ball, they knew their speedster was in. Scrapes the paint and adds a coat of paint to this Gloucester performance and result.
What a match-up with him, wasn't it? The 2 9s in this final. He's kicked superbly. I said he's carried round the corner brilliantly. He's passed superbly as well. They all have. It's been Gloucester's day, and they deserve it.
Well, it's been a proper cup match, this.
Oh, absolutely.
Off feet, no!
Darren Duffy-Duke, a man of Ukrainian descent, carries on. Greg Laidlaw is bundled away into the final minute. Elliot Stook is on for the big Puma.
Use it!
Mariano Galarza. Matt Kvesic carries. Listen to that shed, listen to Kingsholm. Tom James. Last run for him, the last run for Exeter, and that looked like a forward pass. Referee says play on. Here's Ian Whitten. Sam Hill now into the 22. But this will matter not. It's Gloucester's game, it's Gloucester's semi-final. Here is Matt Jess. They might finish with a try though. Now Carl Rimmer. Final play of the game as Mitch Lees brings it forward. And Gareth Steenson. And they're still working with great intensity, Gloucester, right through the final whistle and final play here. John Afoe still making tackles. August Tyone, whose try really did give the Chiefs some hope. Now Dave Lewis. Big hit by Tom Savage, and yeah, that's it. It is the final play. It's the final moment. It's the final act of this big European Challenge Cup semi-final, and Gloucester move into their first final since 2011 when they won the Anglo-Welsh Cup. And can they now replicate their European Challenge Cup triumph at the same venue, the Stoop, of 2006.
Well, collectively they've been fantastic as a group. Subs coming on, making a difference. Moriarty coming on early. carrying like his old uncle and dad. Laidlaw, total command round there. Hook, the genius. But my man, you mentioned, Robert, his birthday boy today, Tom Savage. I like my second rows that can do things with the ball. He's out carrying, he's chopping people down, he's pushing, he's calling the line out. He's my Heineken man of the match. Tremendous performance from Gloucester. Tremendous performance from Tom Savage.
11 carries, 10 tackles from the man who scored the... Well, it wasn't quite the match-winning try because it was Johnny May who really did seal it for them towards the end after Elvis Tyone had brought them back into it. But in this season's Challenge Cup, they are the #1 seed, to remember. They won all 6 of their pool games. They racked up 5 try bonus points. 25 tries they scored in the pool stages to be #1 seeds. And then they've enjoyed home territory for the knockout stages, beating Connacht here in the quarters by 14 points to 7, and now putting away the Exeter Chiefs. And up ahead, looking down the M4, Edinburgh Lion Wave.
They certainly do, and collectively I think it was just a tremendous effort from that first whistle when they caught the restart. Just drove and drove and drove, and the forwards won in this game. It was good skills from Hook. Meek's getting a try, but it's one for the forwards.
An Anglo-Scottish final is secured at the Twickenham Stoop in a fortnight's time. Tom Savage was Dowie Morris's man of the match, and he's with Bill Latham.
Tom, many congratulations and happy birthday. A try on your birthday, how's that?
Yeah, it was good. I don't get met too many, so it was nice to sneak over for one in the corner.
David said before the game that he noticed a different atmosphere this week. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, we knew that if we were going to beat a quality side like Exeter in knockout rugby, we were going to have to bring our A game, and I think we did that today. We played for the full 80. We didn't just play for the 40 and then let off the gas. We were just there for the 80 minutes, working for one another, and really showed towards the end.
In the pack, Tom, how much did you challenge each other this week to be as good as you were in the set piece?
That's what we've been trying to do all year. We've been building hard. We've had a new coaching setup this year, so we've been looking to build on that week in, week out. And I think we really showed in the scrum this week how dominant we're becoming, and hopefully we can build on that looking to the future.
How much does this tournament mean to you, Tom?
It's huge. We know that we owe this to ourselves. We owe it to the supporters. We just want to give back, and we're looking just to build as a team. Some results haven't gone our way this year, but we're just, like I said, we're just looking to build week in, week out.
And Edinburgh at Twickenham Stoop in 2 weeks. Their pack was fantastic last night. You up for that challenge?
Yeah, we'll be looking our lips for it. We've got 2 huge Prem games in the meantime. We've got a home record to look after for the back end of the season, and that's what we'll try and do. We'll bring it to next week.
Congratulations, Tom. You were the man of the match. Keith Benton from Heineken has your vase as a prize.
Thank you very much.
Very well played. Good final.
Well done, Tom.
Cheers, thank you. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Dean, if I can bring you in. Many commiserations. Thanks, Dean. Many commiserations. Firstly, what have you said to your guys?
Oh, I haven't had a chance to speak to them yet, but yeah, lads, it's disappointing, obviously, to get to the semi-final and not progress forward. But I mean, I think in semi-finals, it's often the team that deserves, and I think full credit to Gloucester. They were very good, very committed today, and that's often what gets the result in big games, big semi-finals.
Rob Baxter said before the game that he viewed this as the next stepping stone for Exeter. What's the most important thing that you take from this game then, Dean?
Well, the key is to move on from it. It is, as I said, a disappointing loss, but we've still got a lot to play for in this season. Yeah, we've got big games coming up in week to week, so we've got a great opportunity to go forward, learn from this game, play in ongoing big games, and really achieve what is the rest of our season. There's a lot there for us, and we'll certainly be going after it very hard.
Where did the game get away from you, Dean?
Well, it probably didn't too much. I mean, obviously the try that put them out to 13 points, I think it was obviously a key moment. But yeah, we were right back in that with to get in with that 7 points. I felt we had the momentum with a little bit of time to go. But I think we lost brave. We're a brave team. We're an ambitious side, and we'll never die trying. And that was the result. That's what happened in that last try, really.
Thanks, Dean. Commiserations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good word to describe Exeter, isn't it? Brave. They've been a brave side all season in the last few years, but they've gone down at the LV Cup final. They have gone down at the Challenge Cup semi-final. And we wish them the very best of luck for the coming weeks in their premiership race for the top 4. They have earned the right to be there.